So let me begin this video by stating the very obvious, yes, the Boruto manga is flawed. Now we already know the situation surrounding the anime, so I'm not going to talk about it here, but rather let's talk about the manga situation, because yes, I do acknowledge for a fact that the Boruto manga is not without its flaws. It has some major storytelling flaws as well as character ideals and character motivations, because for a really long time, this story is feeling like it's just telling the stuff surrounding Kawaki as well as Boruto, with some stuff surrounding Naruto and Sasuke. All the other members of Konoha, all the other major members of Konoha have been already sidelined. Hell, even some of the most important new generation characters are also sidelined. For example, Sada and Mitsuki, who had the potential to be such an important asset, because Sada is the last surviving member of the Uchiha clan and Mitsuki is the child of none other than Orochimaru. So I think all of these things are a big problem for the Boruto manga, and I totally acknowledge all of that. Moreover, this entire arc genuinely seems like a nerf arc for Naruto and Sasuke in order to progress the story moving forward. But the way in which some of the fans are dealing and handling with all of this has not been desirable, this has not been actually great. Since yesterday, Naruto, Sasuke, Boruto, Kurama and Kawaki are trending up on Twitter worldwide, but not for ideal reasons. A lot of the quote-unquote fans who have never even touched the series of Boruto are claiming up on Twitter that they absolutely hate Boruto because they have apparently killed their favorite character in the form of Kurama. This is one section of the people, and the other section of people who are totally oblivious to the fact that Kishimoto is currently writing this story, and they're basically saying that, oh, I wish these new authors were not ruining the story of our beloved characters. I wish Kishimoto was back and writing the original story himself. And there is another faction of people who are just casually giving death threats to Kishimoto because he has apparently killed their favorite characters. This is not an ideal situation, this is a terrible situation. The Attack on Titan fandom recently went through all of these things, especially in regards to the animation and MAPPA studio and everything that happened there. I've already talked about all those things in my Attack on Titan videos, so you can watch them for a better understanding of the situation. But here things are going out of hands, because here people who have not watched the series or who have not even read the series are giving absolutely wild opinions as to why this is a wrong decision to kill off Kurama. Now yes, granted, this particular arc has its problems. I personally have a lot of different problems with all of these things, and especially the manner in which Sasuke has been handled here. Yeah, the nerf was coming. We all knew that the quote-unquote nerf was coming. This is basically a shonen trope, and this has been utilized in the Naruto series, in the very first Naruto series in itself, where it is very blatantly stated that the newer generation is definitely going to surpass the older generation. That is something we saw with the generation of Naruto himself. But the manner in which these things are handled here in Boruto are not as desirable as someone would want them to be. But I personally think that the entire situation surrounding Naruto and Kurama has been handled absolutely fabulously, and if anything other than this happened, I would have been really disappointed, just like I am disappointed with the way in which Sasuke has been handled here. Sasuke throughout the anime version as well as in the manga version has been nerfed quite a lot. He has been constantly out of chakra, which has been a meme at this point, and the manner in which he lost his Rinnegan was not really ideal in my opinion, because he should have been able to avoid that hit. He should have been able to use his Amenote Chikara despite his chakra loss and everything. You can sugarcoat this thing as much as you want by saying that Sasuke was prepared to die here, so he's not really bothered here to lose his Rinnegan. You can say all that you want, but I am not convinced at the fact that Sasuke was not handled well in this particular regard. But on the other hand, the situation, the stuff surrounding Naruto and Kurama was really well handled, and I made this prediction way back in November and prior to all of that as well, that Kurama will probably sacrifice himself in order to save Naruto. And I'm so happy that this is actually the case here, because it basically shows the character development of Kurama, and this was really lovely, because this is the same Kurama who once threatened the entire Konoha village. This is the same Kurama who killed Minato as well as Kushina, and this is the same Kurama who wanted to take revenge upon Naruto and just kill an infant baby. And yes, this is the same Kurama who has today sacrificed himself for Naruto and in order to save everyone. This was really bittersweet. Obviously I was happy but sad at the same time because Kurama sacrificed himself here, but this was a really good character motivation in my opinion. Yeah, sure, people will say that this is bad writing and whatnot, but I genuinely feel that this was a very well handled situation, at least for Naruto's side. I'm not advocating for the side of Sasuke because that was trash. I did not like that. But in spite of all of this, you obviously are free to have your own personal opinions, and you should not be bound by my personal opinion. But with that being said, I am just seeing these ridiculous takes on Twitter where Naruto fans who have not even read the Boruto manga are claiming absolutely ridiculous stuff that Boruto should not have been born, this is just a crash grab series and whatnot. Sure, I totally understand that you are angry, and sure, I totally understand that you are sad here, but you should at least read the damn series. The way in which Kurama went out here, it was really a good way, and it is much better than Naruto dying randomly just to facilitate the growth of Boruto. Moreover, at the end of the day, this is literally Boruto Naruto the Next Generations, and it has been prophesized and it has been said from time and time again that Naruto will eventually lose. Moreover, this is something which Momoshiki had predicted way back when he said to Boruto that because of those blue eyes, you are going to lose everything and everything that you love. And Boruto obviously loves his father, so it was pretty evident that he's going to lose his father as well. And also let me remind you all that adult Hokage Naruto is not totally powerless without the powers of Kurama. He still has a lot of different stuff in his bags. He still has the powers of the Sage of Six Path, he still has the Sage mode and many more different stuff. I'm going to talk about all of these things in a separate video, so stay tuned for that. Now for the last couple of months I've been advocating for the fact that Naruto is not going to die. That actually went true, and I'm still adamant and saying that Naruto is not going to technically die in the series moving forward, but rather he might be sealed off somewhere. And that is a topic of discussion for another day, because I genuinely feel like Kurama will eventually return into the series and he's going to help Naruto at that particular point. I've already made a separate video in this particular regard, so please go and watch that here. So overall, what I just want to convey in this particular video is that please do not be a part of the hate train just because you saw something which is trending up on Twitter. Please just read the series first and form your own opinions. I'm not saying that you have to love the series. Boruto as a series is definitely flawed and it leaves a lot to be desired. But at least for the parts of Kurama, I think this was handled really well and I'm happy with the series moving forward. Moreover, chapter 55 of Boruto really introduced a lot of spicy stuff with the white karma and the quote-unquote Otsutsuki god. So I'm really looking forward to the future of the series because this is looking really interesting in my opinion. My only gripes here are obviously in relation to Sasuke and the way in which other characters are handled here. I just hope that there is more screen time for the other characters and this just doesn't become a Boruto and Kawaki show. Sure, they're important to the central narrative of the plot, but there are other additional characters. You need to develop them in order for the fans to actually care for them. Just because Sada is the daughter of Sasuke, we are not going to care for her until unless you actually show her. So there you have it. These are my quick thoughts on this particular matter that has been currently trending up on Twitter. So please give this video a thumbs up if you like it, share it with your friends and subscribe to our channel for more. This is WonderYZ and I'll see you soon in the next video.